It was good. What's good, y'all? What's good? What's good? Yo, man, I had to drop in. Let me turn the music down. Yo, this shit got me listening to Chris Brown. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Y'all already know. Like, listen, I did not want to do this. I did not want to do this, and I vowed not to do this. But I have to because that's what POVs are about, right? That's what our point of view is about. Y'all see the shirt, y'all know what it's about. So let's not even trip that I'm gonna go into, some bullshit. Um, let me let me let me turn these lights up real quick. Let me get this lighting together because I got some stuff I gotta talk about. All right, so if you in here, cool. If you not, you know what I mean? This video, of course, will be uploaded at your earliest convenience. You can check it out. Like and subscribe if you in here with me. Yo, I got some stuff to address. First of all, we know in this culture climate, in this hip hop climate, we have so much. Well, one of the things that that poked out, one of the things that happened as far as hip hop is concerned, one of the most phenomenal moments in time that happened. And no, I'm not going to be talking about, well, hold on, because before I get to that, like I said, I didn't want to do this, but first thing I'm going to address about hip hop music is that AZ, Nas, got on stage on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon and performed "Life's a Bitch." So that happened. And while I was tuned in myself to watch AZ and Nas perform this track, and I believe this is for the very first time that they did. You know what I'm saying? Live on stage. I can't recall no other time unless I wasn't at Nas' live performance or anything like that. Nas did perform "Life's a Bitch," his verse, um, at a concert that I went to. It was a Wu-Tang Nas concert. But anyway, so Nas and AZ. By the way, AZ Do or Die Part 3 album is out right now on Mass Appeal. So, half of y'all jokers that's sold on that other stuff that's going on the other side, y'all need to snap out of it. Hip hop is this right here. Hip hop is AZ. Hip hop is Nas. Hip hop is Mobb Deep. Hip hop, hip hop is hip hop. That homegrown, that pure raw, that uncut. You already know where I'm going at with this. So my thing is that happened. That phenomenal moment of time happened, right? Nas and AZ. I can't help but to feel that, yeah, when it comes to the OGs doing what they do, it pretty much puts the pressure on these now generation artists to step they pen game up, step they shit up. Well, let me just tell you, when you in your 50s, you up there in age, you doing music 10 times better than most of these artists that is quote unquote established, right? And this is what I'm saying. We are so hung up on these artists, dropping, nonsense, that we're just so enamored with, the popularity contest of it. And I'm quite sick of the popularity contest, if you ask me. I'm quite sick of it. Just like I'm quite sick of academics and the Rory and Miles of this generation. You know what I mean? Of this space anyway. Because what they do is clearly glazing over somebody who's not even that good anyway. But segue into that, because I didn't want to take it this. I didn't want to even go this route with this, but I said, you know what? I got some stuff on my mind, and I just want to just give my 2 cents. There wasn't nothing really scripted or nothing or well put together or what I was even going to talk about. But yes, for all y'all that don't, of course, that don't know me, and for all who do, yes, I took the leap. I did it. I did something that I said I was never going to do. And I got to confess on this. I listened to a Drake album straight through for the first time. I know. It was not a good experience. It was, to me, and I'm not being biased here because I'm a fan of Kendrick Lamar or anything like that. I'm not going on that bandwagon. We're not doing that. I just love good music from good artists. That's it. It has nothing to do with, because you're a fan. Well, if you want to say that, but then also too, what is the artist delivering that makes me like them so much? And trust me, people, I'm not going to be long on this, and I wasn't I had no plans on being long, on this podcast with this, but I just had to mention that yes, I listened to the Drake albums for the first time, or listened to anything even Drake. And let me just clarify, y'all. When I say I listen to something, let's take the word listen out of there. I heard the album. I was hearing the albums. I didn't listen to them. Let me reiterate myself. Because some people would take that whole listening thing and take it to a whole nother area. No, I didn't. I'm not doing no review on this shit neither. I'm not going to do no review on this. I'm not. I was watching the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. AZ and Nas was going to be on the show last night. And I said, I'm tuned into that. But then right around that same time, that announcement, because I thought they was actually going to announce something on the show. But anyway, AZ and Nas were performing along with Moo Fresh, who joined the stage with them on the Tonight Show. And that's what I was tuned in for. I already knew that, the Iceman release is coming. And I said, no, I'm not going. But my wife is saying to me, you know what? We should listen to it, you know what I'm saying, just to see what's all this hype about. I said, you know what, baby, you're right. We should listen to this album to see what the whole hype is about. Because here's the thing. You have to experience something. You have to listen to something or whatever. You have to in order to get your critique on what's what. For y'all that don't know me, first of all, and let's not make this about, there's another fan. No. I knew about Drake long before half of you people knew about Drake. I knew about Drake. I knew about Drake from the beginning. I remember when I was living in a rumor house, and I had a homie who like here in Philadelphia, I had a homie on 52nd Street. That's one of the main strip for those that don't know. That's like a main strip that runs through, West Philly. that runs through the West, West Philly. It runs through, through there, all kinds of vendors, all kinds of shops, people, selling this, that, and the third, books, albums, I mean, clothing, you name it. It's like a hub for that. So it's like a main strip where, saying people from around that area, saying, don't have to go far and wide and get their shopping on. So, all right, we got that out the way. So my man was selling books. He was selling also, some music and stuff like that. He handed me 2 Drake CDs. The 2 Drake CDs, if I'm not mistaken, October's Very Own, something like that, in Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, something. I forget the titles of. It was like 2. It was like in mixtape form. Again, anyway, never have I ever bought a studio album for Drake. And when my man told me about this Drake character, I'm just like anybody. Who is this Drake dude? What the fuck is who? I go popping the CD, same thing. I pop in the CD, same kind of feeling that I have even today. I was not feeling his style. I'm like DMX. I don't like his voice. I don't like the way he looked. I don't like the way he sound. I don't like nothing about Drake. And that's what it was from the beginning. I don't like his flow. I don't like nothing about what he be saying or nothing, because it all sounds forced. It sounds forced. It don't sound authentic. His rapping don't sound authentic at all. And y'all who know and listen to music know what I'm talking about. When I listen to an artist and I listen to their lyricism or their attempt at being lyrical or whatever, and I listen to them, they just sound like they just a cookie cutter. Same thing. Like it was people trying to fight me about my opinions about Lil Wayne. Same thing I had about Lil Wayne. I thought Lil Wayne was garbage. I was not feeling Lil Wayne. Everybody was all over Lil Wayne at the time. Oh, he's the mixtape king and he's lyrical. And then they still go on this bullshit about Lil Wayne being lyrical. And I know a lot of y'all out here is going to fucking hate me for this shit. And I don't even give a fuck. I'm just telling you right now. Certain individuals that y'all consider to be these lyrical behemoths or whatever like that. Certain individuals that y'all consider to be these giants or whatever, I just don't be buying. And so that's why I'm where I'm at and giving the opinions that I'm giving. Because at the end of the day, it is my opinion and it is my point of view. It most definitely is. It's my point of view and it's my opinion on shit. Quite frankly, for me, I couldn't care less if you're a fan of whom or what or whatever. You could be a fan of who you want to be a fan of. I, for one, am a fan of who I'm a fan of. It's certain individuals who I don't even feel like that. And that's where I differ for a lot of people. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Now let's go into this disaster, this 3-album release of garbage. Because that's pretty much what this Drake released. Iceman. He released some album called Habibti. I'm not sure how you say the word. I think it's Habibti, and then Maid of Honor or Made with Honor or some shit. And I gotta say, I listened to the Iceman album. Okay, no, my bad. I heard the Iceman album. I heard it. Because that was initially supposed to be the first release, right? So I heard the Iceman album. the following two, I just like said, no, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna go ahead and see what this Iceman album sounds like, and then I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go move on to the other two albums. Well, of course, as after the Nas AZ, after that performance of real hip hop, what I'm saying, after that was over, because I was looking for them to make an announcement. I said, all right, maybe this is the best time right now, just to see what it sounded like. It sounded terrible. I'm just gonna go straight. I'm just gonna go straight to the. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, like I'm going to go straight to the point. The album is garbage. It's terrible. What I came to find out is that it's a lot of sleepy bars. A lot of sleepy bars. His flow sound lazy. No effort in his energy was low. There's no effort in what he's saying. His lines sounded like Mother Goose. Sounded like some old Dr. Seuss Mother Goose shit. If you wanted Drake to be a deep lyricist or whatever you claiming that he is, you're not getting it with this album. You certainly not. You certainly not getting it with this album. This album was terrible. It was terrible. And what can you expect from a Drake album? What can you expect? Again, this is coming from somebody who don't listen to Drake at all. I don't listen to Drake shit at all. And I just was curious. Like, I just was curious last night. I said, you know what? I'm going to pop in this joint and see what it sounds like. I mean, this dude, the whole album is tired. The whole album is tired. The whole album is tired. It's terrible. It's terrible. 3 albums of nothing but garbage. Y'all got me listening to Chris Brown's album. I'm considering Chris Brown's album to be a whole lot better than all of those trash drops. Them trash drops that Drake put out. And I was not going to make this a Drake. I was not going to make this live about this. I don't even want to speak on this shit because everybody and their mother is going to be on here, giving a point of view, their take, or whatever you want to call it, giving a whole spill on Drake, Kendrick Lamar, everything that's Drake and Kendrick Lamar basically. And I just didn't want to do it. But I said, you know what? Let me give my 2 cents because I feel as though there are some things that I want to address. I mean, motherfuckers left and right is calling this a album of the year. I mean, it's a classic. It's far from any of that. This album is far from any of that. This is an album full of a bunch of throwaway shit, a bunch of stuff that he probably cooked up months ago or a year or 2 ago, and he decided this is probably some of his best stuff. So let me put it all on the album and let me put it out there for the people. Iceman was just everything but an Iceman, a hard album. It was his attempt at trying to be hard. It definitely was his attempt at trying to be hard. But it just wasn't delivering. I wasn't feeling that. Then it was, I forget who the guy was. He was on the Threads account. He was on my feed talking about how with this album you could feel the pain. You could feel the pain and you could feel the whatever, the authenticity, some other bullshit that he said. Yeah, he more so probably was on the toilet when he was rapping this shit, trying to get it all out there so that, you know what I mean, before he drops one in the ceramic bowl. But come on now. Like, this shit was terrible. It's pain, all right, because I wasted my time listening to this shit. I wasted my time listening to it. And I know I'm using the word listen. It's kind of hard to go back and forth from here and listen. So I'm just gonna just give up. I listened to the album, okay? I listened to it. And upon listening to it, because I wanted to see what the hell it sounds like, what is all the hype about Drake, period. Because I would hear a single or two from whatever he was releasing in the past year or 2 years, 3 years, you name it. All his stuff that he released even before and after the battle, right? So I didn't really have to listen to a Drake album. I didn't have to really listen to an album. I just felt the need, like, okay, what does this shit sound like? It don't sound like nothing. That's just what's straight to the point. That's as much as straight to the point as I'm going to get. This album didn't sound really like anything but just the same old shit. The same old trap style beats, the same old tone. This of course, the album is chock full of disses to Kendrick and everybody else who he's befriended over the years, who he felt betrayed him, and all this other nut shit. Meanwhile, you is out here sneak dissing, been doing the sneak dissing for years. You've been doing it. People got sick and tired of that mess or whatever. Not only that, sleeping with dudes' wives. You doing all kinds of slimy ass shit. You just out here just being just being a nut ass dude. Straight up. You fake. You're not no real gangster. You're not none of that. Your attempts at trying to be hard. Kendrick was right. Doesn't matter how much money you have, you're still a lame at the end of the day. And that's exactly what it is with Drake. He's still a lame. Real niggas recognize, man. They can see that. They can see. It don't have to take a rocket scientist to point out the obvious things. There's popular motherfuckers that are lames. There's niggas with money that are lames. I'm not saying that I'm the realest nigga alive, but I stand on principles. I stand on morals and stuff like that. Do I make mistakes? I'm a work in progress. I'm not a saint. I'm just like any man. But I do dance to the beat of my own drum and stuff like that. I have my own individualism. I'm who I am. And sure, so is he as a man. He's who he is. He's who he is too. But he's in a whole different space. Music wise, we look at somebody like a Drake. Popularity, you know what I mean? Like just standing at the apex of his whole career and stuff like that. I for one, I would tell the dude he just really need to fall back and just concentrate on what he got going on. I would concentrate mostly on what I had, my career, for that matter. I wouldn't even be concentrating on half this stuff. I think you do yourself a disservice when you out here trying to move like you move. And no, I'm not going to ignore the fact that when you listen to the album and you hear the first track goes in about how and that's the obvious thing that stands out, right? that his dad, has cancer. That's the obvious thing. Everybody has their pain. Everybody has something, and it's something. And I'm not even going to touch on that. You know what I'm saying? Because I miss my mom. I miss my mother daily, day to day. I do. And I can't sometimes quite get it all together, or at least try to. So my thing is, when we're talking about, certain things, we're going to pour our heart out with that. But let me push all that to the side. The album was still trash. It's no, and of course, many people are going to take this as, oh, this is just your opinion. Cool. You could take it as it just being my opinion. It's just my opinion. I'm fine with that. My opinion stands, though. And then there's like it's millions of people that feel the same way. I mean, I don't know, not one. I can go to a social media platform here and there, from a Facebook to a Twitter, or should I say X, and I can go to any of these social media platforms and see the long threads and read the threads, and it'll read out like a whole rating. This shit's trash. This shit trash. And you know what? They right. They probably had the same. Listen. It's almost like this, man. It's almost like this. You have to experience something to know what it feels like, or what it is. That just doesn't say like, oh man, like I listen to this shit 24/7. No, you already know what's on my shirt. I listen to these guys 24/7. Bottom line, man, he put out 3 albums of trash, man. Now at this point, man, I'm going right back to, that Nas and AZ. I can't wait for that to drop. I can't wait for Kung Fu Kenny to drop another joint. You know what I'm saying? I might go back to listen to this Chris Brown album. Finish listening to that. Terrible. And I can't help but that your boy is doing all this too, like to try to step on Chris Brown's release. Because the man released like 27 tracks. I think it's 27 tracks he released with his Brown album. He called it, the album is titled Brown, by the way. Chris Brown's album is titled Brown. And I think he went with a Michael Jackson theme cover or a Luther Vandross cover. I'm not sure. It looks more like Luther Vandross than it does Michael Jackson, but I could be wrong. Or those two things could be his inspiration on why he chose the cover of the art, why he chose the art cover as the theme. So there you go. But that Chris Brown album is 10 times better than it's 10 times better, way better. Way better. Yes. Way better than Drake shit. I'm sure. People is like, I'm sure you got them stands. You got them stands out there. But I'm saying to myself, like, how can you really be a stand to this whack ass dude? But I mean, everybody got fans. Even the lamest dudes got fans. Even the fakest artists. I mean, shit. Sexy Red even has fans. Go figure, right? Some of the most wacky, Little Yachty has fans. I mean, we talking about some whack ass artists, man. These whack ass artists has fans. Yeah. These whack artists has fans. So it comes to no surprise. I mean, that's always what's been the blueprint. You know what I mean? Even the lamest artists will have fans. Their fans will be 10 times more than artists that actually do good music, that put out good music. Huh. Anyway, yeah, I did the one thing that I said I would never do, and that's listen to a Drake album for the first time, straight through, top to bottom, right? Because I wanted to see what the shit sound like. And it's the first time that I'm on here. I wouldn't say this is the first time I'm on here talking about Drake and Kendrick or anything related to that. But this is one of the things I said I was never going to do. Was use my platform to talk about it. And this is probably going to be the last time I will do it. I mean, not in its entirety am I going to lend a whole hour or so to talk about this shit. But however, here's where we are. Here's where we are. And I mean, for me, I couldn't help it because I'm just like, okay, well, let me see. This is probably what's going to be the topic all throughout. But my topics could be about a lot of other things. Plain and simple. You know, like when I'm on here doing reviews on stuff, I'm actually showcasing talent from where I'm from my city. I'm showcasing, showcasing talent from my city, even outside of here. You know, who I resonate with, and also just plain and simple. If I do an album listening or review, I do that because I'm a big fan of said artists. And that's just where I'm going to be at with it. Man, oh man. Yeah, and I wasted my time. I did. I wasted my time actually listening to that shit. I did waste my time, folks. I did. But you know what? Like I said, you won't know until you experience something for yourself. Because you know that's where the experience lies at. You have to experience something for yourself. You have to go through it, or you know what I mean. Like you have to literally engage with the very thing that you may or may not like, and see for yourself what it is. That's how you build experiences. I don't know what else to say on that, but I think that I'm going to shorten this out. You know what I mean? Because I didn't want to be too long about none of this. But man, they are buzzing about this shit, and there's a lot more. There's a lot more not so well liked fanfare over these three releases. I mean, he might got some boppers on the other stuff, and you know, because when I listened to the other two, and I didn't even listen to those other two albums, I actually just skimmed through it, and it was what I was expecting. I mean, if he had dropped a solid album, which Drake is never going to drop a solid album, he's never going to drop a solid album. No way, he's not. And that's all he had to actually do was drop a solid album. I don't know what made him think. I think he was trying to go. He was trying to go the Nas angle with the three albums. I think he was trying to step on Chris Brown's release. Then he was riding the game meat train for a bit. Who else? And then you know, of course, taking shots, taking jabs at Kendrick Lamar all day. It's like Kendrick Lamar lives rent free in his head, and he just can't help himself. He can't help himself to talk about Kendrick all day. Kendrick lives rent free in his mind. Kendrick is sitting back laughing like probably saying to himself like, "Yo, this dickhead. I told you." Everything that I said on records came to life. And that's exactly what happened. Everything that's on record came to life. Good for him. Good for him. And listen, he could drop music all he wants to, and I don't have to actually care about it. You know what I'm saying? None of us has to care about it. If you like him, you like him. If you don't, you don't. That's the same thing that goes for the other guy, Kendrick Lamar. If you like him, you like him. If you don't, you don't. That's actually my time, man. Like I'm not gonna waste my breath too much on this, man. I just had to come on here and give my 2 cents about this, give a bit of my point of view. Yes, I've listened to the album, but I'm not gonna sit here and critique. I think I've done enough as far as critiquing. And that's all that this actually is just a critique. The album was exactly what I envisioned it to be. The album is what I knew it was going to sound like. The album is what I knew it was going to be. I called it. Many of you may not have had the conversation with me one-on-one or whatever the case, but I actually called it that this album was going to be trash. And it was. It is. It is, actually. It is. Without even for years listening to any Drake music at all. This is by far the worst. I don't know if y'all remember that 100 gig shit, or when he was doing all of those rollouts and doing all that stuff on online. And I mean, he was just doing a caveat of he was doing an assemblage of so many different things. Well, this is just a repeat of that. He put out 3 albums because he wanted to see what singles are going to stick. And he actually just killed his own momentum here. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. He killed his own momentum. I mean, I think that maybe the other 2 albums are going to be received well, because that Iceman album in itself is not it. I mean, it's the same style, bro. It's the same style. Same old style. Same style that we're used to hearing. If you ever listen to it, Drake like that. Same style. Same goddamn style. It was terrible. It was terrible. But you know what? That's my time. That's what I wanted to leave y'all with. Until next time, real hip hop is always going to be in the building. But anyway, take it easy. Take care. Love y'all. Peace.